here in map number 1 of 2 here in Oregon of the Wichita Wolves versus Revengers. And we're going to start out here in the ban phase. Wichita Wolves will be starting on defense, so it'll be very interesting to see who they ban first here. And it will be Ying, so that 0 percentage will stay at 0 for now.
No surprise there having the Ying come out. Ying is a very powerful operator on Oregon, especially if you want to rush kids' bedroom and dorms. She's a very powerful operator, especially with those smokes. You're able to get a smoke plant down very quickly. Our second ban coming in being Maverick. And again, that's really Maverick is very powerful for attacking that second floor objective. He's able to clear out attic without the need of having to bring a Thatcher, and his M4 and his grenades just make him a very well complete operator. Very smart to take him off the board.
Same thing to take off the Mira, because Mira is just basically one of those operators that is just extremely strong, especially with that vector. And one thing we didn't touch on is that Thatcher is not banned, so we will most likely see Thatcher played most rounds, if not all, and then Echo following up to round out the defensive bans. And these are the ends of your ban phase. So let's kick it off with your first round here. It's going to be very interesting to see where Wichita wants to take first. What do you think here?
Um, I'm expecting a basement defense, honestly. As I say that, it's gonna. Wow, no, they're gonna go kitchen dining, and kitchen dining is a very interesting one. I would expect to see the Maestro out here in a Wamai, which we do have, and this is one of those objectives that I'm going to assume the defenders are going to play a very strong upstairs hold, and we're gonna have the clash out. That's gonna be a very interesting six pick. Seeing that clash can actually deny the small tower push very well, holding into dining. So I definitely I definitely didn't expect to see kitchen dining being played first, but as it's coming in here, they're going to be extending into bathroom. They're going to do an extended bathroom hold. This is what we see a lot of teams doing in Pro League, and it has had a lot of success for defending this map.
It has, and again, I can't say I'm not as shocked as you that they're picking this as their first site, but clearly they must feel at least somewhat comfortable to pick this as their first site. It's going to be also more of a vertical hold coming in from the defense, because they know that they're going to be at least challenged vertically, so they want to at least apply some pressure here, and it looks like they're going to have at least faded up here on the smoke, and as I say that, he drops down. So I will take my words back.
Yeah, you don't typically see the smoke playing upstairs. Smoke really plays a lot stronger in kitchen. You'd more likely see the Jaeger play upstairs along with potentially the Wamai, but it looks like Wamai is going to be holding primarily that bathroom hold. And as we're moving into the round, it looks like Yana's very early on going to put one of her replicators, or one of her, I don't really know what the utility is called. We'll call it a replicator drone for right now. She's going to try and clear out meeting, and she's going to see where they can get some horizontal pressure in the early points of the round. And she's already going to be in the objective 40 seconds in, and it looks like they're going to be going for a big tower take to try and establish vertical control and to move on. We aren't seeing at all a small tower take. That's a very interesting way to see this attack played out.
It is, because typically you do like to see at least a bit of a split push, but instead we see most of their team on this east side of the map, and some bullets will ring out from the Alda of Devil, and they're really just trying to establish some control here. It looks like they kind of want to get into the upper bomb site as well, and Mental knows this, and he's going to peek around the corner for a soft peek, but doesn't see anyone as bullets ring past him both ways. And Mooj is actually already in here. He's not able to spot Devil, excuse me, Mental, so no bullets will ring out from either side.
Yeah, very good rotation here from Clash to move up White's stairs in order to help assist the Jaeger, especially because they're not going to be going for a small tower push. I'm assuming that in the initial drone phase, they saw how much utility they were dumping into that bathroom hold, and they said, "Look, it's kind of clear over on kitchen. We're going to be seeing the first engagement now. It's going to be moved, fighting right up against Mental, and the two teams, or the two players right now, just barely missing each other. And we have Libman playing on there, and a run out from the Maestro to take Libman off the board. Quickly, we see another pick come in here from the Thatcher. three really quick picks coming off. That's your Yana off the board. But for the defense, that's your plant denial. That's going to be smoke coming off the board, and Clash is going to have to back up because Moved can take out that Clash very easily. With the utility that she brings as Zofia, she directly counters Clash. So Clash, you're going to see try and get back into the objective, and as this is going down, Thatcher's going to be planting over in Kitchen.
And as we say that, Devil will find himself at the bottom of a 6-foot grave, and he'll try to do the 180 twist around, but Susie's there just to take out Tyrant in the Clash, and that will be the first round going in favor of Avengers.
Yeah, and definitely that round. I really got to give it up to Avengers there. They droned out. They droned out small towers. Saw that they were dumping a lot of utility into holding the meeting hall side, or the dining side, and had decided, look, we're just going to go for a big tower take right now. We're going to attempt to try and get control of Kid's bedroom. We're going to get control of attic, and as soon as we do that, the defenders didn't sacrifice as much utility on that side of the map, and they were able to really easily take it. They were able to get the plant down, and they were able to get the picks they wanted because they set up the crossfires, because there was no shields, and the Clash wasn't really able to help out that Jaeger playing upstairs. Very well done by Revengers.
It definitely seems like Revengers is just applying a little. They applied a lot of pressure in that round, and it seems like they read into what they wanted to do almost perfectly, or they knew how they wanted to play this map, whether through scrims or some other review. And it's very interesting to see that. I guess you can say they saw the opportunity and they took it within a matter of a few seconds. We saw those picks come in within, it seemed almost instantaneously. And we're going to see the classic little hold here in blue that they're going to probably put either the Smoke or the Jaeger or maybe the Wamai. Those are typically the three operators that you put in that hold. Now, for people who don't know how this blue hold happens, you typically have a rotation hole into blue with the deployable shields and ADS, Wamai frisbees, as I like to call them. And you mostly just have people running that in and just soaking up as much utility. And once that deployable shield is gone, you have somebody fall back with a reinforcement still left, and they just reinforce that off. Now, it's going to be, it's going to be very interesting to see how Revengers want to read into this, because it looks like they want to take the west side of the map, and certainly they are. They're going to be moving in slowly as the first minute is already ticked off the clock, and it's going to be, looks like they want to go for a freezer take, as most of their team is on this side.
Yeah, freezer take is a freezer take is no surprise here. I'm very impressed right now with the efficiency of their roam clear. Bringing that Yana has definitely done them very well. She was able to clear out meetings. She was able to clear out almost that entire west side of the map. So her team pushed in very quickly, and currently they've gotten the attic hatch open. So you're going to see the Clash rotate in to help out Smoke. But right now, it looks like they're not even going for a dirt take. And as we're talking, we're having an encounter right now. It's going to be Smoke up against the player pushing down attic stairs or freezer stairs. But Zui is going to be taken off the board by the Kaid. I'm not quite sure where that gunfight went down, but that's going to be your Thatcher off the board. I believe he had already used all of his utility, but they're going to be at a man disadvantage.
They are already at a man disadvantage, and a lot of stuns coming out, and Move just is not able to find the pick there onto Faded, as I believe he loses all of his smoke canisters, or he's down to at least one now, as he has to fall back deeper into Freezer. 45 seconds left here in the round, and it looks like they haven't gained much ground here for Revengers. It looks like they've only lost a man. However, Lidman is here, but he is spotted out. Gorio will be able to find the smoke of Faded, and that will be evening the man count now at 4-on-4. Technically 3 if you count the no gun technically on Tyrant the Clash, and a pick will come in from Mental. More guns will come alive as blows will be traded back and forth. However, Gorio will be left in a 1v3. 10 seconds left on the clock. It looks damn near impossible, and he's not able to find the first pick, and Wichita will secure their first round.
Yeah, big 4K coming up there from Devil on the Kai, playing that anchor role. He really held down the site very well. He was playing over in Laundry and held down the site and he held down the site very well. He stopped the Ash from pushing in. He was stopping the players pushing in from Freezer, holding that long angle, especially with only the holographic on the AUG A3. Very, very impressive from his part. I honestly thought that that round was going to go to the attackers. They had cleared out all the roamers playing upstairs. They saw that it was a little bit more of a turtle defense, but they didn't gain the control that they had wanted in Big Tower. They weren't able to push the player off of Pillar, and they weren't able to clear out that clash, which in order to take the site from Freezer, you have to gain control of Pillar. You either gain control of Pillar or you gain control of Electrical and clear out the players playing in blue and make the push from there. But because they weren't able to do either, they only had players playing in my apologies in Freezer, and at that point there's not much you really can do as the attack unless you get lucky picks off. And as we saw in that round, it did not go in their favor.
It definitely didn't, and it definitely seemed like they wanted to kind of just force their way through. And they had about 4 players trying to push their way through Freezer, and clearly with the smoke to delay them, along with the clash, it definitely seemed like they just were out of options and didn't know how to get around it. However, we have seen, as we saw in the first round, Avengers has been able to just make some good calls. So I won't be surprised if they're able to bounce back from that round.
I won't be surprised either. And one thing that they really quickly just got to work on, if you want to be able to clear out the clash, they need to be able to coordinate a little bit tighter. Having a player rotate in as the Zofia stuns the clash, it's a very tough task to do, clearing out that clash, especially with a Zofia, because you need 2 players to kind of synergize with it, and I believe that's what they're trying to do. But Clash made the right play of rotating a little bit deeper into Freezer and not allowing them to get that pick. And Clash is going to be kind of at the detriment right now to the Revengers, as she's holding out that master bedroom very well, with the Jaeger playing very close behind her, able to rotate over need be. And it looks like they're going to try and get attic wall open, but I'm assuming we're going to see a impact trick come in. And no, the impact trick does not work. They're able to get the master bedroom closet wall open, and that's going to open up a lot for the attackers right now.
It opens up a lot, especially here with just about 2 minutes left to go in the round, especially with that run out that we saw earlier. And they're trying to apply some pressure here, but they're really not applying any. The apex point here is really that Mental and Tyrant are just holding down this rotate into the master room. And we're going to see Lidman here. He's running the SMG-11 and a shotgun also taunts to be able to find 1 pick. He's not able to find the second onto Mental, though, and he will find the second. Lidman here is going to rock the SMG-11, but he's going to get caught in the face by the SMG-11 of Faded. And we find ourselves here in a 4v3 in favor of the defense of the Wolves.
A very linear take coming in, as Zooey is going to be taken out, but Moved is going to be taken off the. Move's going to be able to take Mental off the board, and it's going to be a 3-on-2. It looks like Gloria is able to get a pick onto Faded. It's just going to be all up to. It's all going to be up to Devil and Tyrant on the clash and Wamai. Devil making a lot happen as the anchor. He's going to see the replicator come in, and he's going to be holding right behind. He's going to be holding right behind that clash, trying to prevent them from pushing into closet right now. He's able to keep that control of games, but no, he's going to be taken off the board really quickly by Gloria, and Gloria is able to push in and get a 2K, and that is going to be a round for Avengers.
A beautiful play coming in from Gloria. Just literally saw that he was getting pre-fired around the corner and just pre-fired back and caught a beautiful kill, and then just went around the corner again to find himself a second. So beautiful read into there by Gloria.
Yeah, and something I'm seeing a lot from the attack right now is the attack is being a lot more. They're stacking up a lot of their players, doing almost a one-sided push. They aren't doing many split takes. Like a lot of times you'll see teams try and get control of games, then try and get control of attic. They're really just trying to get control of games, but they're relying a lot on their gun skill. And it's working out 50-50 for them. That time you got to see Gloria get 2 beautiful picks in the end there. She was able to see those tracers coming from Jaeger's gun, pre-fire that angle, and was able to get it and then rotate immediately in. But you also have to give it a lot for Moved right now. Moved doing as much as he can. He's really denying he's denying a lot of cross angles, and he's not allowing any of the attackers to come in. And my apologies, my brain is just going off a little bit right now. He's setting up cross angles, and he's allowing for situations where if one of the attackers are being pushed off, he's able to come in and make the trade. And that has been very big for Revengers right now, is especially when they're playing at a man advantage, they're able to not allow that man advantage to be taken up. And I really got to give it up to Moved for doing so.
Part of me really thinks that Libman back onto the Ash makes me think that that sledge pick with the shotgun SMG-11 really wasn't planned, because I maybe it was, I could be completely wrong, but you never really see that brought out, because the L852, I believe that's what it is just a extremely powerful weapon. And we're going to see the same setup here from the Wichita Wolves. We might see a quick peek coming out here from Mental, but it looks like the Avengers will just go below and maybe go for a bottom clear, even though every single person for the Wichita Wolves is more or less on site. The apex point is going to be the same spot in Master. However, looks like Revengers are actually going to go for a big tower take. What do you take of this?
I like the attic push. It looks like they're going to be having Tonics play over and try and gain some initial control. I'm assuming they're going to have a player rotate over to help him out to kind of clear out tower over here. And it looks like they're doing it to kind of draw the clash away, which will make that take a master bedroom a lot easier, because now Clash has to be very cognizant of that player pushing an attic, because if they gain attic control and they push two players in there, then they can take that split take from attic and master bedroom, and that'll open up a lot for the teams. We are a minute 45 in the round, and we have not seen a single gunfight come out. Very interesting. It looks like both teams are being a little bit more passive this time around, being very cognizant of what they want to do. And as I say that, Devil is able to take Zui, or my apologies, he's able to take the Thatcher off the board right now, and that's going to be a very big pick for the defense, because now they're at that man advantage, and if the attackers want to split up, it's going to make it a lot harder.
It is going to be a lot harder, especially with that Thatcher off the board, and some picks will fly in for the defense of the Revengers, and they're going to be here stuck in a 4v3 in favor of Revengers. It looks like they have every single single avenue open that they need to.
Yeah, and as we are talking right now, we're seeing Moved push in, and he's going to be taken out by 821 Mayo. It's going to be, and Faded is able to get Goria off the board, and 821 Mayo with a nice little one tap, and it is going to be all cleared up by 821 Mayo. Nice little 3K coming in the end there. That Alda just goes burr, but it looks like 821 just needs one bullet to take out those two players. Very wonderfully done by the defense.
It's going to be another round going in favor of Wichita Wolves as they attack on their second, and it seems like it's just going to be a very back and forth here from these two strong teams as of right now, and it's going to be just their first round on the upstairs bomb site. All of a sudden, we see also the 6th pick back into the clash once again. And Tyrant really liking this clash. I wonder if maybe we'll see a band come out next time into the clash, and we'll see the Jackal 6th pick to a Capitao. Capitao, a very, very strong operator that sometimes we don't see a lot of.
Capitao being brought in as a direct counter for the clash. That is my take on it. Libman bringing that in because the attackers have really been disrupted this entire game by that clash. I really got to give it up to Tyrant. Tyrant coming in with no kills and 2 deaths, but I think he's enabled his team to do so much more. Without that clash on the board, a lot of their defenses I don't think would be as viable. He's able to rotate around, prevent key pushes, especially rotating around to Attic there, and as soon as they had stopped the push from Attic, he was able to rotate back around and stopped Move from coming in. So I really like this clash play, and I would not be surprised in the slightest if we see, well, my apologies, clash ban in this next round.
I wouldn't either, because it seems like Tyrant has really just been, I guess you can say, a tyrant on the Clash, applying a lot of pressure to Revengers, even though he is sitting at 0-2-2, but he's playing a shield operator, so you won't really expect them to get a lot of kills. And Zuzi out here on the Kali, a very new operator, I guess you could say, in the pro selection. And we're going to see him just trying to push his way through here. And what do you think of bringing the Kali rather than a Thatcher?
Um, my assumption is that they're bringing the Cali as another counter to that Clash because for those of you who don't know, if you shoot the Clash shield with the Cali, it'll move the shield away same way as if you'd hit it with a Zofia stun. So I'm assuming they're bringing that Cali just to counter him. And as we see that, Mayo is just gonna narrowly miss a shot from Zuzi right there on the Cali. And Zuzi getting a really nice pick on the Devil. That Cali pick coming in pretty big for them right now, and it looks like they're going to be trying to establish that pillar control. They just have one more player to clear from behind it, that being Mayo. And it looks like Tyrant's going to be at about half health. So bringing that Capitao and that's my apologies, that Capitao and that Cali have really fared them well.
It certainly has, and Tyrant is already down to just less than, looks like 20 HP. He might even be on 15, and a lot of picks have flown by and a lot of HP exchanged between operators, and it looks like they're going to be forcing into this gunfight. Tyrant looks like he will be falling soon, and Mental is just going to find his way, and a picks fly, a flurry here for each team, and Zuzian moved. Two operators finally left alone on the attack, and Mento and Mayo find themselves. The diffuser is left outside. They're going to have to force themselves, and Mental find himself a double kill. He knows that something is up, and Zuzi, with a minute left to play here, has the diffuser in hand, and now Mental knows he's right there, and Zuzi will win the gunfight there. He finds himself also a double kill. All of a sudden, it's Mayo on the Wamai. He's going to have to try and move himself into a advantageous position, and so will Zuzi here. He's going to probably use this rotate hole here set up by the defense. This is the problem with leaving this defense like this, especially if you don't reinforce it after the rotate is done. He knows that there's going to be one person. He's going to pre-fire around the corner, and all of a sudden he knows exactly where Mayo is, but Mayo also knows where he is. So it's going to be a bit of mind games coming in from both teams. It doesn't seem like he hears him. He's going to peek around the corner. He knows that he's right here. Mayo seems to have heard him as well. He peeks around the corner, and Zuzi will win the fight to secure Revengers their third round of the map. What an exciting round that was.
I was watching that whole round, and I gotta tell you, I have absolutely no idea what happened over there in that blue hold. Right in dirt. It was just four picks back to back to back to back. And in every way, Zuzi should not have won that fight, but he was able to get two very, very nice headshots off there, able to take Mayo off the board in the end in a little a little game of Ring Around the Rosie, but very, very well played there from the attack. It looks like both teams went for a very strong pillar and dirt hold and a pillar and dirt take, and it was just trades that came in, and the trades really went to the favor of Zuzi and the Revengers. Very well done there. And I know at the beginning of the round you had said that it was a little bit interesting that they brought the Callie and what I thought about it, and I thought Callie might have been able to get one pick with her sniper or get one pick with the SMG, but he came up with 3 kills that round and winning it out in the end with a 2v1 clutch. Absolutely well done by Zuzi on the Cali.
Absolutely well done is, I would even consider, an understatement, because you don't really see the Cali really making plays like that. However, that SMG is debatably one of the strongest right now, especially on an operator that can be deemed as almost like a flex operator or an entry, depending on how you want to play her. But we're here on the last round of the half, and Wichita Wolves will be looking to try and favor themselves here at a 3-3 split. Revengers are going to want to take another half lead at 4-2, and that would be very advantageous if they enter in their defensive half at 4-2. And it's going to be the exact same hold here coming in from Wichita Wolves. Clearly, it didn't, I guess you can say, it favored them very well until they really got rushed. It seemed like the Revengers just really knew exactly where everything was and just pushed them, and it looks like it'll be the exact same thing here, as there's 4 of them pushing the exact same site, or excuse me, the exact same angle again. And it's going to be Mental and Tyrant at the same angle, Mayo holding it as well. So it's going to be the exact same counter plays as there was before. I'm very excited to see how they want to take this as we enter the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, they're stacking up a lot of players out here by bunker, and it looks like they're trying to use the Kali to clear out that Clash, but Clash playing it very well because of the tight angle that she is holding. They're not able to get the pick that she want, and having the Wamai on the board, Wamai is going to prevent Libman from actually being able to get any of his fireballs in. And as I say that, Tyrant's going to have to rotate back. He's going to be left at about 30 health here as Libman is able to get Libman's able to get one of his firebolts off, and Devil, my apologies, able to get tonics off the board, and that's going to be a man advantage now for the defense.
We find ourselves here in a 5v3, or excuse me, a 4v3 as I speak, and a lot of guns will come alive, or excuse me, 2 only, but Tyrant's going to be pushed off this angle, and they're going to quickly find him as they just, oh, excuse me, Mood will find himself a double kill, as he's able to find both of them at the exact same time, and now Mayo is going to be left alone in this 2v3 with Faded, and they're going to have to move themselves into a advantageous position. About 50 seconds and the grenade will cook, or is just going to launch it into a freezer, and it looks like it might have been caught by a Wamai disc, and it was. So Faded is left alone from Goria as for now, and his Gemini replicator will be sent into sight to try and help him out, and he doesn't check freezer. This could be a very, very pivotal mistake as the plant is going down, and Cruz will move over for it, and all of a sudden the diffuser is left in sight, and it's a very doable 2v2 now left in favor of the Wichita Wolves, and it looks very doable here as we enter the 15-second mark, and the peak will not come in. Zuzi won't be able to find himself the second there, and the Wichita Wolves will be able to claim this last round of the half as Mayo is just able to find himself a neat double kill there at the end.
Very well played by Mayo, rotating back into Laundry. He knew that every single player was over by that bunker side of the map, and I will say that Gemini not seeing the player in the freezer, that lost him that could have really lost them the round. The way you typically want to see that scenario played out, being on a 2v3 or a 2v2 situation, it's very common that you'd have all the players over by either pillars or dirt and pushing up blue. You want to try as the attackers to establish an angle, to establish 2 angles onto freezer, one from pillars, one from blue, where the defenders open up the wall, and then you want to bring in your player to go in and plant, because at that point, the only way that the defender, that being Mayo, is able to actually stop the plant is by having to expose herself to the player playing in blue, and from there you won't be able to have the smoke deny the plant from freezer, and not clearing out freezer really was to the detriment. But going into half at 3-3, I have to feel pretty good if I'm the Revengers, because this is one of those maps that has played out a lot more defender sided, and we do see a lot of teams coming in at an 0-6 split and then winning 6 rounds. I believe that's how it had played out when Oxygen had played SSG on Oregon. So if I were the Revengers, I'd feel pretty good, but I got to give it up to Wichita Wolves. They did a wonderful job defending the sites, and Mayo really did come up big for his team there in those basement holds.
It definitely seems like these 2 teams have been at each other's throats, especially in this first round. It's going to be a quick take here coming in from Mental. He's just going to try and establish a lot of small tower control and into kitchen as well. Not at it, we are playing in the kids bunk site, the top floor site, so it's going to be a very interesting hold to see how they want to take this. Everyone playing on the upstairs again, and we're going to see tonics on the Clash. We've seen Clash now in every single round, and I don't know how I feel about it, mostly because I think Clash is a nuisance, but that also may be because it's just, I guess, as someone can say, Clash can be very annoying if you don't know how to play around her, and it seems like both these teams are able to counteract her very well. Wouldn't you say, Pond?
Yeah, and both teams, I really liked Wichita Wolves' synergy around Clash. They were able to have Clash kind of play a little bit more aggressively, knowing that there was a player behind her. And anytime that she had called that they were looking away, you immediately saw the defender rotate in, and Clash was able to move out of the way quickly, and they were able to get picks that way. Clash typically isn't a great operator to try and get picks with. That whole 360 sweep after electrocuting somebody doesn't work out very well. But I do like the synergy that she brought to the Wichita Wolves defense. Here, the Revengers, I don't know if they were part of the original game plan, but having her on the board, I'm curious to see how she's playing right now. As I'm talking, Zuzi's going to be taken off the board by Mental, and that's going to be your Jaeger. That's going to be your Jaeger off the board. That's a lot of frag potential off. But as I am saying that, it looks like Goria is able to take Devil off the board, and that is a huge pick. That is your hard breacher. And though they still have faded, Thermite's able to open up those walls a lot better, and it looks like Wichita Wolves are stalling out a little bit right now. They're trying to take this objective from balcony and try and push into Dorm's window, but having that smoke there to deny it is really playing to their disadvantage. And it looks like we're going to see Libman play on this first floor as the bandit, possibly to deny the plant from below. And Mayo's just going to rush in, and Goria's able to take him out. Tyrant's able to get Tonics off the board. Mental able to take out Libman. We are going to be left in a 3v1 situation. It's all going to be on Moved, as Tyrant's able to get two very big kills in there, and the plant is going to be going down. So now Moved can have to be able to retake this site. He's going to try and contest. He's going to have to try and contest the Ash right there, and he's not able to take him out. Mental able to clear it up, and that is going to be one attack round one by Wichita Wolves.
That was a very chaotic round coming in from the Wichita Wolves, as they really just almost forced themselves into the site. I think one thing that we really didn't notice that was very, very detrimental to this defensive hold, they had Libman and Moved downstairs roaming with almost about 45 to 30 seconds left, with only one person downstairs, with the diffuser known to be upstairs. That was a very, very costly mistake, because if you had even one of those players directly on site, I guarantee you at least one or two of those picks goes back in the way of Revengers, and maybe you have yourself a round that is in favor of Revengers. However, it clearly wasn't, so we'll go 4-3 right now for the Wichita Wolves, as Revengers choose to move to the basement side, and we finally won't see a Clash play. I am kind of happy about that. And we also see at the top of your screen the community vote, 73% in favor of the Wichita Wolves.
No surprise there. Wichita Wolves are doing very well, but I'd have to say that this is probably one of the most even matchups I've ever seen. Both teams playing very well to their strengths and playing against the other team's weaknesses. Right there, the weakness in the defensive hold was the fact that they were not expecting a rush from that Dorm's window. That was not expected. You can see with Libman going below. I'm assuming he pushed below because he wanted to try and get the C4 from below, assuming they were going to play it in default. And my apologies, that's not what happened. Mayo had rushed right in, and Moved had rushed right up, along with Tyrant on that Zofia, and they were really able to make it happen. And it looks like moving on to this basement defense, Mental's going to push in very quickly. A lot of that pre-round droning coming in clutch for them right now, because they know that that entire west side of the map is clear. So they're able to make a lot happen out of that. It looks like they're going to be, I'm assuming they're going to try and go right now for a freezer take, having Mental and Capitao there. As I say that, we're having Mental push down the stairs, and we're going to be having a very quick gunfight coming up between Mental and Zuzi.
It definitely seems like the pressure is going to be coming from Freezer, and Zuzi will be spotted out here, and he'll pre-fire on the corner, but he will lose the gunfight to Mental. Mental is just better in that scenario, and it looks like Moved and Lemon are just going to focus their attention over here as Lemon just slithers his way across to make sure he cannot be found out here. But it's also going to be kind of a split push coming in here from Wichita. This is the kind of push you want to see whenever you want to take Freezer, wouldn't you say? And the C4 will come out and catch Mental there as well. But wouldn't you say that's kind of what you want to see whenever you want to take Freezer?
Uh, yeah, I mean, it looks like right now they know that they have a. I'm curious why they aren't pushing down main stairs right now. It looks like they are gonna have one player playing on main stairs, and as I say that, it's gonna be Faded taking out Libman, and Moved is on a sliver of health, and it looks like they're now going to be droning out main stairs, and they're gonna go for a split take. Moved being at a sliver of health. Same with Mental, but that's a fight that can go either way. But pushing these players down main stairs, they're able to deny that rotate into sight from to not deny the rotate in from pillar hallway, and all they have to do is clear out the smoke playing in laundry, and that's sight for them. That's game.
He
As I'm
actually is
talking.
able to find the defender. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I just wanted to talk about that. That was just a beautiful angle coming in from Goria. You can take it over. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're absolutely fine. Goria being able to come in there and take out the player that is trying to get the diffuser down, but Faded able to take Goria off the board. It's all going to be left onto Tonix, trying to clutch this out. With that, Wamai able to get one kill there onto Mental. He's getting in a gunfight right now with Faded, and they haven't set up the cross angles, so this is definitely winnable for Tonix. Him being at full health, but both of the attackers being at full health. He's going to peek around this corner, trying to catch Faded, and he gets Faded, and now all he has to do is take out Mayo, and he can get that diffuser down. He only has about 10 seconds left for him to do so. And right now, Mayo's just going to be running away, trying to delay as much time as possible, and Mayo is able to win that gunfight out, and that is going to be a second attacker round one by the Wichita Wolves.
A smart play there from Mayo. I was actually thinking that he was too far away, but clearly it seemed like he knew exactly where he was, so he was trying to run up to him, but Mayo just better in that scenario, just held that angle, pressed mouse one, got himself the round winning kill, and a very interesting idea to just go all the way upstairs. Of course, you had your backup there downstairs to take the immediate gunfight, but he also had a firebolt if he wanted to use it. So really no hesitation there to put him all the way upstairs. A beautiful round one in here by the Wichita Wolves, and one more round for them, and they're going to be on match point, guaranteeing themselves at least something here in the first round. So it's going to be up to Revengers to really pull something back here. They haven't won anything as they went onto defense, so it looks like a lot of this is just swinging in the favor of Wichita Wolves.
Yeah, and I really want to touch up on what Mayo had done right there. That was a very smart play to rotate up those lobby stairs, because at that point, what you're doing is you are delaying. You're not playing for the kill. You're playing to delay the time. He only had about 18 seconds, or he only had about 15 seconds left on the diffuser, and knowing that Tonix was getting very aggressive, if he just played passively and instead of trying to lose his life over at the top of those laundry stairs, instead of losing his life right there and giving Tonix time to push back down, he was trying to run as far away from sight as possible, because at that point you're taking more time off the diffuser and you're increasing your chances of winning. Playing passively there was definitely the play in it, and he was able to get the kill in the end. But even if he was taken out, wouldn't have left any time left for Tonix to get the diffuser down. So very, very well played in that 1v1 situation by Mayo.
It was very, very well played. And we're going to see ourselves here at the top floor once again for Revengers as they want to replay this site. And it's going to be a lot of quick control coming in here. And we're going to see Libman with the Mozzie drone just drilling himself to know where he is. He's going to pre-fire around the corner. He's not able to find the head of Tyrant, but he's going to put a lot of damage onto him, not even downing him. So he won't be able to get any health back. So it's going to be already an early disadvantage coming in here for the Wichita Wolves. However, I'm not really worried because they've been proving right now that they've just been a lot stronger, at least on this attack against Revengers. And we're going to see them try and clear out this whole bottom floor because they know that Libman might still be down here. So they're going to want to get him out of here before they execute onto the site.
Yeah, I'm really liking Faded right now, playing that secondary support role, but fragging out on it. He's been able to get a lot of crucial picks for his team, and the same way with Tyrant. Tyrant really has been tearing it up this game. He was playing the Clash primarily on defense, not a very pick-heavy operator, but coming on attack, he's like, look, I'm going out, I'm feasting right now. I'm going to be trying to get as many kills as I can, and playing that frag-heavy role very, very well. Being left at a little bit of health, I still think he can make a lot happen out of it, and it looks like the teams are both playing very passively, very similar to how we've seen this played out before. Faded, and I believe that is Mental playing from below, or my apologies, Tyrant and Mental playing from below, trying to establish some vertical control from below, which is something you don't see a lot of teams. You're seeing a lot more teams do, especially on Oregon, trying to establish some angles from below and try and win some of those vertical gunfights. But Libman is also playing down there, and as I say that, he's able to take Mental off the board. Very well done on that roam game. But as I say, that move is going to be taken off by Mayo, and we're going to be left at a 4v4 situation. 38 seconds left in the round, and it's going to be all coming down to Libman on that downstairs, taking out both those downstairs player, Tyrant and Libman, or my apologies, Tyrant and Mental, and he's going to just rotate back up to site. They're left at a 3v4 advantage, and we're gonna need Devil to make something happen right now. And as I say that, he's able to get Libman off the board very quickly. The attackers are getting taken off though, as two very quick picks are coming up. And as I am talking, Goria is able to get faded off the board, and that is going to be the first defense won by Revengers.
That was a flurry of kills, and that I don't know if that was necessarily because Libman was still downstairs. However, that definitely played a factor because he was able to find an early pick onto Mental, or excuse me, a late round pick onto Mental, and that just kind of delayed their push even more. I think if if the Wolves were able to push onto site and execute a bit quicker, especially after they had that pick, I think you see that round going in the favor of the Wolves. However, we will find ourselves going here into the 10th round, and if the Revengers find themselves this round right now, we will guarantee ourselves seeing all 12 rounds. And I don't know about you, but I love seeing a 12-round matchup. It's going to be very interesting, especially for the first map of this 2-map series. Wouldn't you say?
I love seeing 12-round matchups. I love seeing the games being played out to their fullest. I love seeing both teams being very equally matched on both attack and defense. And it looks like in that round, Revengers came alive, having Libman on that deep roam, able to get two very nice picks of Tyrant and Move and Mental, taking your first and second entry fraggers off the board. It did a lot for them, and it allowed for them not to have any more vertical pressure from below. And I think he really opened up a lot for his team there. And I think right now the Wichita Wolves have been doing very well at establishing a lot of early round control, but moving on to that mid to late round, they seem to stagnate just a little bit. But it looks like both teams are playing off each other very well. I'm hoping to see 12 rounds, but it's on Oregon. I mean, typically you're seeing the defenses win a lot more, but we've seen that the Wichita Wolves are a force to be reckoned with on attack.
It definitely has proven that they are being very, very aggressive right now. And the C4 will ring out, but won't catch anyone, as Zuzi will find himself in the 6-foot grave of Mayo right now. And they find themselves at an early advantage here in round number 10, which could put them easily on a match point here. And they're not even in any of this map right now. And as I say that, we're going to probably see Faded just walk right into Big Tower. But they know someone's down here in Big Tower. Excuse me, not in Big Tower, but their drone is going to be caught in Big Tower. And it's going to be a top floor clear into a bottom floor as well. There is no one on this top site, it looks like, which could be the downfall, because if you have vertical pressure plus the horizontal pressure, we see teams just fall quickly, and it looks like Lemon might just run out here, and he yucks a C4, and it won't catch anybody. He's going to play right behind this table as well. With about 130 here left in the round, it's kind of still close here, as there's not really anywhere they're pushing in.
Yeah, Libman playing in a very dangerous angle right there, because they have attic open, and that vertical pressure that you can apply right there. I mean, right now they're going for a full vertical take, but as I am talking, that's going to be Goria taking out Mental, but Mayo's going to get Tonics, as that's your plant denial off the board. You're going to be just left with the Pulse Jaeger and Mozzie, but Devil's going to be taken off the board, but both of his hard breaches, my apologies, both of his exothermic charges are already going to be out, so that is not much utility off the board, but it's going to be at an equal man advantage. Libman playing a little bit of a rat angle right now, holding back, trying to prevent that plant from going down, and he's going to be able to get Mayo off the board, but quickly traded out by Tyrant as it's going to be in a 2v2 situation. Moved, rotating back up with the flank of the Sentry, but Faded is able to trade that out. That is just one missed gunfight. It's going to be Faded versus Goria. It's going to be a 1v1, and if Wichita Wolves are able to get this, they're able to guarantee at least a draw. But if Revengers are able to make something happen out of this, they're at the health advantage. Faded, I think knows where Goria is playing, but is going to be rotating around, trying to maybe switch up where he's going to be pushing from. He's going to rotate in. He knows that there's the rotate hole there into Meeting Hall, but it looks like Goria is aware of his location, as the diffuser is going to be going down, and that's going to be a little bit harder for Goria to take this. He knows that it's going to be planted in the other bomb site. He's going to take out any drones, trying to deny as much intel as possible, but it's going to be a 1v1 situation. We've seen Goria play very well, but Faded has come alive on this attack.
We're going to find ourselves here as Wichita Wolves will secure themselves the round, as Faded will just peek around the corner and take that aggressive gunfight. Not much else there that Goria could have done, except maybe he could have just been a tad more aggressive, especially if he knew that the diffuser was going down, you had to think that he should have at least positioned himself a little quicker to that secondary bomb site, or excuse me, that secondary bomb. Well, actually, yes, it is a secondary bomb site technically. And we find ourselves, the Wichita Wolves, at match point right now. What do you take of this? What do you think Revengers need to do to actually find themselves to bring it to a tie?
They need to get a little bit more aggressive, especially in those late round pushes. They're letting the attackers come to them, but they're not holding advantage angles. You saw Goria do right there. He was trying to make his best efforts to hold meeting. But knowing that there wasn't a whole lot of time left, and seeing, I don't think he had the audio cue that the diffuser was going down, but he should have gotten a little bit more aggressive. Going prone right there, staying still, that's just a pre-fire that Faded needs to come in, and he's able to take him out very quickly. So I think they just needed to I think he needed to get a little bit more aggressive there. I think he should have wide peaked it, and I'm usually somebody to say, I mean, wide peaking everything is not really the play, but in a 1v1 situation with the diffuser down, I don't think proning there was the play, but he did play it very well. He was holding the right angles, but Faded played off of it again. I think that both players played it very well, but Faded coming up there in the end, knowing that the defender's prone, had the pre-fire. Revengers are really going to have to keep their man advantage early on. They keep on losing defenders very early. Libman having a very, very successful roam game. I think he's going to have to come up a little bit bigger. I think he's going to be having to get maybe one or two earlier picks, and to be able to deny a lot of that map control that the attackers seem to be getting.
It definitely seems like the Wichita Wolves are just able to get a lot more map control early on than it seemed that the Revengers were able to. And I think one thing that shows just the strength of these two teams and how they play, we saw the round history there a few seconds earlier, and we saw that every single round has ended due to every single person on one team completely falling flat. There's nothing else that these teams have been able to do, and we actually see a soft roam here coming in from the Libman up in Big Tower. It's going to be interesting if he's able to swing on and get a pick, and he knows that there's going to be someone there, but Tyron is also going to know he's there, so Libman is going to fall back to site, or maybe he'll fake it. But no, he will actually confirm it and go back to site. A more or less failed roam coming in from him, however, he was able to deny it and slow it down a little bit as we reach about the 140 mark right now.
Yeah, that was I'd call that a semi-successful roam. I mean, you prevented the control from Big Tower coming in the earlier parts of the round, but there still is a minute 30 left on the board. The attackers can make a lot happen out of that time. I would have liked to see a pick come out of that roam there, but not having that, I mean, having that vigil back on site still is a powerful position. We've seen Libman, he's a very talented gunner, and with that K1A being a very powerful weapon, he can still make a lot of it happen, but it looks like they're going to not go for as heavy of a static or my apologies, a freezer push this time around. It looks like they are going to be dedicating a little bit more to that big tower clear.
It definitely looks like they're going to try and clear at least all sides of the map, which could be their downfall as they're splitting a lot of people in different locations. And Mental will be able to find Zuzi as he finds himself the match point, narrowing even sooner. Lidman is on low HP and low bullets, but Tyrant doesn't know it, so he's just going to passively hold the angle here as Lidman gets a chance to regroup with his team. And it's getting down to the nitty-gritty, the do-or-die moments for both these teams as Mental will find himself another pick. He'll find himself the triple. He might be gunning for the ace here, and yes, he is. He finds himself the quad kill, not able to find the ace, however, as the plant goes down for the Wichita Wolves, and the Wichita Wolves will secure themselves map number 1 here to secure themselves at least 2 points here in this 2-map roundup, as I like to call it.
Devil said it best himself. Mental is absolutely mental coming up with the 4K in that last round. And my apologies for saying they weren't going for a freezer push. I didn't see all the players behind Mental right there, but even if so, Mental really made as much happen as he could. Pushing into that freezer, and I gotta tell you, Wichita Wolves are a force to be reckoned with on attack. They play off each other very well. Their synergy is definitely there, but I really love their intel game. They're saving a lot of their drones. You can look in the drone phase. They're droning out a lot of different way to kind of defend it, and a lot of teams are very comfortable with defending it. And no surprise, they're coming in for those defensive bans. I doubt that any team that saw the Wichita Wolves play on defense, I doubt that any team is going to allow for them to bring Clash into any games coming in, because that was definitely a showing to see. We are going to be seeing a cash CC defense to begin this round, and interesting that they're bringing the Maestro. Typically, Maestro is brought more for the gym bedroom hold and for that church arsenal hold down below, but it looks like he is going to be placing his first Maestro in cash. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. I'm assuming they're going to be trying to use Devil to hold down Catwalk. That's typically when we do see a Maestro come in. He's typically that one player that will hold off Catwalk. And another curious thing to see is a lot of teams will opt to bring the Wamai and use both a Wamai and Smoke, and to use that double shield setup in order to hold off that CC wall, especially when it gets open, because teams will get that wall open. It's almost a guarantee for most games, especially with the amount of different ways you can open it up, whether it be a charge from below or being that Maverick, which we are going to be seeing from, I believe it is Tonics. A lot of teams will opt to bring some shields, but we aren't going to be seeing any shield play coming out today, which I think is a very interesting choice coming from the Wichita Wolves.
It will be very interesting as instead of the Bandit, we saw that Tyrant elected to go with the Kaid, which is also a very strong operator if you know where to put the Kaid clause, which would be very interesting to see if there's anything, I guess you can say, abnormal for where he placed it. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of downstairs, or at least Mayo is going to be applying some downstairs pressure along with Mental, who is in blue. And it looks like Revengers know that exactly, and they're going to want to rat them out quickly. And Gorya's just going to peek around the corner here as Limon is already down a bunch of HP. That could be really the downfall here as we start to see a lot of, and that will be your primary your primary support of the hard breachers in Tonics as the Maverick down early on, or not necessarily early on, but early enough that this could really be their downfall here because they don't have anything open just of yet. And that looks like to be the only wall that they really want to get open. They're going to have to swap over their attack here as we reach past the 90-second mark.
Yeah, coming in at 90 seconds, and Maverick wasn't able to fully open up that wall, so it looks like it's going to be a little bit more of a risk for Thermite to try and take it. And I don't know if they were able to get the charges off the wall, and Libman's going to be down, and Gorya's going to be taken off as well. Looks like Mental's going to be able to get Zuzi off the board, and it's going to be a 2v5 situation. All the defenders, my apologies, they lost a little bit of health. Mental able to get 2 kills in the end there, able to clean it up. Flawless round by the defense. 3 very critical picks from Mental, bringing it to a successful cash CC hold.
He's picking up where he left off, still pulling off those mental plays, as we like to call it. And he finds himself a triple in the first round, setting the tone as they're going to go for a gym bedroom. Not necessarily your second site of choice sometimes, as we see from most teams. They elect to go for either the basement if they go cash first, or cash if they go basement first. So it's going to be kind of a abnormal hold here because they're going to be probably expecting the basement and it might switch up their attack. But of course, as any good team should be able to do, they should be able to adjust here. And it's going to be, I guess you can say, kind of hard for them to pick themselves up because they lost a lot there in the first map, and they're already not starting off on a hot foot here. They lost about they lost only one player to the entire team of Revengers. They're going to need to step something up here if they want to find themselves at least gaining one round here.
Yeah, and it's an interesting operator pick, operator's pick. My apologies, coming in right now, opting to go for that Goyo and the mute rather than bringing a smoke. They're not going to be. It looks like they're not going to be focusing as much on holding that jacuzzi wall, because they are going to be bringing that mirror. I'm assuming that mirror is going to be going up into bathroom, and they're going to opt for a almost. I don't know what you would really call it. I call it an extended hold into an outside wall. But they aren't going to be bringing the castle. We got to see the castle on CC Cash, but I think castle plays a lot better on this objective, being able to prevent the, or my apologies, being able to place those castles on that cache or on the master bedroom wall, on the construction wall, and to be able to prevent any angles being easily opened up by the attack, because they can just typically shoot out those barricades. Having those castles forces the attack to use some form of soft destruction in order to open it up. It looks like they are going to be trying to open up that CC wall, and they're not going to be successful in it because they do have that mute jammer. It looks like they are going to have to use some of Maverick's utility in order to clear it out, and they're the defense doing a very good job at delaying this attack, not giving them that cash CC control early on. I think is going to play to their advantage coming later into the round.
It definitely could here because we're just about the 90-second mark here, and not only just now was that wall open up in CC Cash. We find ourselves just trying to open up this wall right now. I think nade will be cooked and trying to come over, except that mirror will be opened up, and Dev will be able to find two here in the Cash. He's able to find Goria and Zuzi as they weren't able to drone it out and catch themselves here. And this double mirror setup here is actually really beneficial. I've never personally thought of this, and that's a really smart hold here coming in from Tyrant, especially as they still have complete control of the east side of the map with Zuzi and Goria down. We're going to have to see Revengers here try and adjust. They're going to have to push through a hatch or some other window. It's going to be very dangerous here, especially as Moved finds one kill, but he's going to get traded right out as Tyrant is actually able to find two. Both teams here, or excuse me, both teammates here, just really popping off, and Libman is going to just pre-fire around the corner, trying to find the first of four, but he's probably not going to be able to do it as time winds down. 30 seconds here left in the second round. He's going to try and pre-fire around any corner he can to maybe find himself one kill, but he's got one player looking down the hatch, and he will be caught out as Wichita Wolves will find themselves up 2-0.
The big plays coming in right now from the Vector. I have not seen a double Mira set up onto the jacuzzi wall and one into I've never seen that double mirror setup. I got to tell you, that's a first time, and I'm kind of digging it. I'm not even gonna lie. That's a really interesting way to hold that site. Um, like typically you'd see that second mirror, you'd see one almost default into that bathroom, but you typically see the other one being played into construction. But having that Goyo on the board, it looks like they really decided to go for using the Goyo shields to be those almost mini mirrors holding off cash and top of red stairs. And they opted to use both of those mirrors to hold off that jacuzzi wall, and it came up big for them. that was a very, very big round by Devil, and also a very big round by, I believe it was Tyrant that played on the Mira. And I gotta say, right now, Wichita Wolves have their strats down pat on defense, and I could easily see them taking this. It looks like they're really disrupting the attack a lot. They're not allowing them to get any of that early control. And there's only been one kill from the attack in these past 2 rounds. And even then that attack, that kill was traded out very quickly. So it wasn't even as impactful of a pick as it should have been. So very well done so far by the Wichita Wolves.
It definitely seems that they're on top of their game here as they're looking to complete the flawless site rotations here. And a little, again, I just want to speak on that mirror setup. I've never seen it before like you, but I can guarantee you it was one of the nicer ones I've seen, and it definitely seemed to have its strengths to it. Another thing I also want to point out, there was a lot of a little bit of text chat going back and forth between the two teams, kind of showing that they aren't really happy with each other right now. Clearly, both teams just, I'm sure they're probably still fine with each other, but clearly both teams are just really gunning for these two. Wichita Wolves looking for the full 4. Revenge is looking to steal at least 2 from here. And we see Zuzi already here in kitchen, and he's going to hopefully try and open this up. However, it's going to be very hard, especially since Devil is down there knowing that they can't get it straight on. They're going to have to either Maverick it, or they're going to have to put a thermite charge next to it. Tyrant has a C4 prepped here, and I believe he knows that someone's there. He's just going to prep himself just in case. He's going to prep that C4 once again, and Goria is just going to be hanging out there. And it's just going to be a lot of clearing and trying to get everything set up for the execute right now as we reach the 140 mark here in round number 3.
Yeah, and it looks like they were able to impact trick that. It looks like they were able to impact trick that Maverick charge, or that, my apologies, that Hibana charge, and that's actually a very smart play by the defense. But if just something for a lot of viewers out there that don't know, if you're able to actually shoot out the floor next to the hatch and not shoot all the way through the floor and throw a frag grenade in it, you're able to actually clear out that Kaid charge, and so you're able to actually get the Kaid off the kitchen hatch without needing a Thatcher. So I believe that's what they had done, but they were able to impact trick it out with the Maestro playing from below, which is a very good play on their part. And we have 58 seconds left in the round, and the attackers haven't established any of the control they want. They're able to get open Moto hatch, but that's about it at this point. As I'm saying that, Libin able to take out Tyrant, who looks like he was playing upstairs, and so it's going to be a man advantage for the attack at this point. But as I say that, Goria is going to be taken off the board by Devil, using that Alda to spray him down. That's going to be your Ash off the board, and Devil getting his second pick of the game. Moved is going to be taken off the board, but Devil going to be able to take Moved. It's going to be a 3v2 situation. Devil at very low HP, but it's going to be all on Libmin and Zuzi. Libmin taken off the board very quickly. It's just Zuzi playing below Moto, and he's able to get one really quick pick onto Mayo. He's going to have 2 more players to take off the board. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. He does have the diffuser, but I don't think he's going to be able to go into a planning situation, and he's going to be taken off in the end by Faded. Third defensive round won by one right there by Faded.
This has just been completely in favor of Wichita Wolves. They look to just be completely dominating this Revengers team. It's completely disrupting them, and they complete the flawless site rotation, and they're going to go back to cash as they dominated them there once again. And we're going to see Mental maybe pop off from that blue position, and we're going to see what exactly are they going to be able to adjust here, because clearly nothing has been working out for Revengers, and this was Wichita Wolves' map pick. So clearly, yes, they're going to be favored. Yes, they're going to have everything set up. Yes, they're going to know how they want to play it. But you have to think, where's the little bit of the spark from the attack? It's getting to the point that we might see a complete a 2-site flawless run to a 6-0. It's possible, it's not out of the realm, but I don't think we have the right to say that Revengers is out of this game that early, because this is still a very, very close game, despite, at least in that last round, it showed us, and a very interesting Kaid Claw being put right below the wall there, as we saw.
Yeah, and we are going to be moving on right now to a cash CC defense, and I don't know how they're going to switch it up. It looks like they're going to be bringing Goria on that IQ, potentially to play from below and try and open up some of those charges. But you have two players currently playing in lounge. You have I believe it's Mayo on the castle, and you have Mental on that Jaeger. So it's going to be very tough to try and clear out some of those charges, and try and establish some early control and try and open up that cache wall. That was something we weren't able to see the attack do last time. And I really like this soft roam coming in from Wichita Wolves. It really is disrupting the attack. The attack isn't able to get any control, isn't able to open up any of the walls that they want. And it looks like the attack isn't adjusting based off it. We're going to see Goria try and get control master bedroom and try and make his push into construction, potentially try and get an early pick, or to really try and establish that control there, cut off all the rotates, and open up those construction walls. But having my apologies, having that Maestro charge in there and having that Maestro camera, it's going to make it a lot harder for them to make some impact out of gaining that early control of cash.
It definitely seems like they want. Actually, I would argue as well that it seems like they have completely adjusted into how this defense is set up. They know that they're going to be holding on to that actual cash wall, and it seems like they're just going to be holding on to the construction wall. However, they will try to nade over, and Tonix doesn't know that the Mute Jammer is actually on the opposite side of the wall in an indestructible area. A extremely smart spot there to put that Mute Jammer. However, I think if you are able to move it over to the left a little, you might be able to actually Thermite breach it. However, as I'm speaking, Goria will be able to find the pick onto Tyrant, putting the Wichita Wolves as a disadvantage. And as I speak, Mental will go Mental once again, find himself one pick early on. And we are 40 seconds here left into the round. No real place to move into the site, and they haven't really found any real estate in favor of Revengers. 30 seconds here left, and it's getting down to the nitty-gritty of the wire. It's going to be the gunfights that determine this, and Mental will be found out by Goria. Goria has a double kill. He's not able to flip on to Devil, and Devil will find himself one. Faded will find himself a second here as the spray will come in, trying to find the planter, and just both players, and they're just missing their shots. Mayo will swap onto Cams for some reason, and the super shorty will come out and just pop the head off of Tonix. Wichita Wolves taking their 4th round, and there you have it. We already have the advantageous split in favor of Wichita Wolves on Clubhouse. This is not looking good for Revengers.
Yeah, and I think that really touches back up to what I had said before. What Revengers does is they'll stack up all the bodies onto one side of the map and all rushing through one area. And the problem that comes with that is if the defenders hold the lines of sight that they need to on there, even if you get the trades in, Gory was able to get one pick in there, but there were already two players watching it. You had Devil playing on Catwalk that had a clear line of sight in there, and you had Mayo playing on top of Red Stairs, and he was able to really prevent that push. So I think that that's definitely going to be something they're going to have to clean up a little bit moving on to these next two attack rounds. But I gotta say, these strategies being pulled by the Wichita Wolves right now, I mean, I'm watching it right now, and I'm struggling to find ways to really counter what they've been doing. They've had a soft roam rotating back to site well, and if we look at the round history, Wichita Wolves have won on kills every single round. There hasn't been a plant. We haven't seen a plant go down. We haven't seen the objective played a whole ton. It's just the Wichita Wolves fragging out on defense, holding really to the strats they know and doing it almost flawlessly. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the defense here. And the Revengers it's going to be a mountain to climb as soon as we get to the half.
they have to be able to adjust here very, very soon, as we're going to swap over and go to the gym master bedroom site. We're probably going to see the same mirror strat as we saw last time. We're going to see some bullet holes coming in here from Devil, maybe to find an early pick going on, but they might have heard something, and they looks like they did, because Goria is going to find himself an early pick and put themselves at an early man advantage, and this could prove to be the turning point maybe for Revengers, because no one has really been able to find early picks, and this could force the Wichita Wolves to over-rotate, overextend, or find themselves at just bad positioning moments, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and I think that early pick is going to make their extended cash hold a little bit more challenging. You're going to be putting a lot more in the hands of Mayo, but I think that and as I'm saying that, you are going to be seeing mental rotate up back through to try and hold off cash as well. But yeah, that early pick is going to be very detrimental. You aren't going to have that C4 which can deny that Maestro from trying to get that wall on the rappel, having the explosions propagate outside. Zuzi is going to be left at only a little bit of health, but having mental playing cash, if the defense is able to equalize this out, it might be a little bit more beneficial. And Mayo's going to be taken off the board very early. Second pick coming in from Goria, a very good one onto the Maestro. That's the Alda and that utility coming out. We are going to be seeing a gunfight coming in from Blipman, trying to contest Master Bedroom right now. And the attack is gaining the control they want. They have control of cash. As they take out mental, playing in their Goria with his third kill of the round. He knows that there's a player playing in logistics, and right now it's looking really good for the attack. They have the man advantage, they have the control they want. Now they just need to be able to execute. You're forcing Tyrant into the corner that is bathroom, and you know the players in logistics. You cut off those rotations, and you'll be able to get the plant down.
Goria will drop a 4K in the round, as a flawless round for Avengers were able to just give themselves at least one round here on this attack here, and thankfully they were able to switch something up. Granted, I think it was due to that early pick, and it looks like they're just the BM coming in from both sides of the team. The LOL is just, I guess, not really. Oh, both teams here are just really not liking each other, at least as of yet. However, I would like to say that Goria was able to just drop a 4K, however, and it was really, really good for, of course, Revengers, but if it takes one person dropping a 4K for them to actually do anything on the round and for them to lose a man early on, I don't think this is really, really helpful for the Revengers. They have to be able to actually execute on site and be able to hold on or later on into the game. We saw the early pick come out, and of course, that's always helpful, but you have to think, where is the late time execute coming in for the Revengers?
Yeah, the late round execute was a little the the late round execute was made a lot easier with Goria getting those early picks. And I know that a lot of people want to say like the G8 is just the click and shoot gun. I think it was Godly or Skittles that really kind of highlighted the fact that, hey, this gun's got an ACOG, it's got an angle grip, and it's got an angle grip, it's got an ACOG, and it's just one of those point and shoot things. But Goria's positioning was done very well. You saw the Wichita Wolves getting a little bit more aggressive with their peaks, especially being at that 4-0 advantage of the last round. And with them overextending a little bit there, Goria had the right positions to take out the defenders. And I think that his positioning and his angles that he was holding really, really netted him those kills. Which I think is to speak a lot to the strategy that he had. And as I'm talking, Mental takes Zuzi off the board, and it's going to be in the attacker's favor. It looks like they were potentially trying to go for a blue push right there. A little interesting coming out to the chat. But Zuzi trying to go for the blue push and not able to make anything happen with him. Mental being able to take him out very early on to the round. And it looks like they are going to be dedicating a little bit more time to that blue take. No picks being able to come out from Goria right there, but he did have the right angle to the mute playing there in Church.
And Tyrant will be able to find another pick with that pocket. That's even more of a pocket sniper coming in here. Mental will also find himself a double kill. And it's going to be down to Tonix and Libman here on the last round. And Revengers here, they find themselves in a bad position, and Tyrant will also find himself his second kill with the C4. And it's just not going in favor here of Revengers as a flawless round will come out for the Wichita Wolves once again. And here we go. It is a 5-1 split going into the half of favor of the Wichita Wolves. It's going to be very interesting to see if Revengers can replicate this.
Yeah, it is a mountain to climb right now for the Revengers. I mean, yeah, you have to look at how well Wichita Wolves played those defenses. They were able to kind of disrupt they were able to disrupt the attack. They were able to disrupt the attack very well, not able to give them any early round control. And the only way, and the attack really only won the one round because they were able to get those two very early picks because the Wichita Wolves were overextending themselves. And that round right there, you saw them play a lot more passively, letting the attackers come to them and then engaging as soon as they had the intel. And that's what you like to see on defense. I think that it's very clean and it's definitely an interesting choice to take Wichita Wolves on Clubhouse. I'm interesting to see how they play on attack because we saw in Oregon they were a very strong attacking map. So, so yeah, we are going to be seeing this gym bedroom hold. It looks like they're going to go for a very similar mirror setup. You don't typically see the mirror setup on that wall, but they're going to opt to bring the Wamai. I'm assuming the Wamai trying to hold off cash. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about with the Wichita Wolves. Just save for the rest of the game. I'll let you take over right now.
Yeah, it just seems like they're just playing completely on point right here, and neither team, or excuse me, neither team seeming, actually I'll keep going, neither team really seeming to like each other that much. However, Wichita Wolves just favoring a bit better here. So we're going to see Zuzi maybe try and catch one early on from the spawn peak, but it doesn't look like anyone's on that side of the map. So he'll just have to fall back eventually unless the Wichita Wolves will find him early on. And Mental will find Goria early on as I am speaking. However, he will lose a lot of HP due to that, and he might hear the overextension, but no, he looks away as they extend. And Moved will find Mental, however, and that will be the refrag coming on here as we find ourselves at a 4v4 very early on into round number 7, as Wichita Wolves will be looking to force themselves into match point here.
Yeah, and it looks like they should be able to make a lot happen with that Montang on the board. I love to see the Montang take it out. He's a very powerful operator on this map. Not as much for the gym bedroom take, but he still can make a lot happen. And we are going to see Zuzi being left at very low HP. I'm assuming a little bit less than 20. And he's playing right down in stockroom right now, trying to prevent some rotates coming in from the main entrance, along with Moved. But there's one player playing out there. Moved's location is going to be known, but Moved is able to win that fight against Tyrant. But Moved is going to be quickly traded out by Devil. It's going to be a 3-on-3. Both equalized out, but it looks like the attackers got the control of construction that they've wanted, and they're going to be moving in very quickly to try and take control of Master Bedroom. Mayo playing on that Hibana, but they have Zuzi rotating in from below. It looks like he's going to rotate all the way around up main stairs and not try and go for that flank onto Red. But as I say that, Zuzi's going to be taken off the board by the Maverick as he's trying to rotate. Tonix is able to take Mayo off the board, and it's going to be a 2v2. The plant attempting to go down, but a very nice C4 coming in from Librith. But a nice little one tap coming in there from Faded. It's going to be a 1v1. It's going to be all on that Montang, right up with Tonix on the. It's going to be all onto Tonix and the Montang. Who's going to be able to take this fight out? If Montang's able to get a little bit aggressive, he might be able to make something happen out of it. Looks like Tonix is being a little bit cautious with trying to approach him. No.
Rightfully so, though, because the Monty is one of the stronger operators, and he has no plant denial here, so he could just take his time and go for the plant. However, he pushes through the smoke, and he's not able to catch him there, as Tonix is going to find himself the round there for Revengers, as no match point will be guaranteed here yet. And that was some pretty good mind games coming in here from from the Monty. I really, as you said, I love to see the Monty come out because it gets very interesting to see how teams play around him and how teams choose to fight against him. We saw the plant denial come in from the Mira, but now it's time to see if they're gonna actually bring him out again because that was only their second, or excuse me, their first attacking round. They could easily bring him again, but instead they're looking to put guns in the hands of their players and end this possibly quicker than expecting.
Yeah, and we got to see Faded frag out on attack that last map. I do love to see the Montang pick. I mean, me personally, I play Montang a lot on attack because in that 1v1 situation, you typically can win it as the Montang. You just have to play incredibly aggressive, and it takes a lot of time to play Montang that way. But I really did like kind of the mind games coming out because typically in the 1v1, you're trying to hold angles, trying to hide, trying to get that quick peek. But it's the Montang trying to get aggressive, and the Wamai trying to figure out, all right, when is my opening to try and take this? When is my opening to try and take this right here? So it's definitely a great round to see. I don't think we're going to be seeing the Montang again. Faded bringing out that sledge. And that L85A1, he was very successful on last time.
We're gonna see two players spawn peeking now, and Zuzi on the dock with that beautiful ACOG. He just spots the head of what seemed to be maybe the Habana there. That would be a very good early pick coming in here, but they're just gonna be able to walk away from anybody peeking in the corner. Move was also watching that doorway, and Zuzi's gonna peek around. He might be able to catch someone on the run out here, and we're going to just keep watching Zuzi here as it's going to be very likely that he catches an early pick here, and he's going to peek around the corner. Nobody's there for him as actually he sees someone at the top of the balcony, but he's going to catch a little bit back instead of finding the frag there, and Devil is going to be able to find Tonics here at the top of rafters, and that gives them complete control of the garage there, but they don't know that just yet because they're still going to drone that out just in case. We also see Mental here at the bottom, cutting off any rotate that Zuzi might try to make into the main, or if he tries to find a pick outside here. We're also going to see a lot of pressure being brought on here by the Wichita Wolves because they already opened up the cash wall. They know exactly where they're going to want to play and pressure. They might be vying for more picks here or to force them to try and defuse. However, with 4 players still left on the board and 2 C4 still left on the board, it's going to be very hard. Mental's going to swing and find one, and Zuzi's going to be able to find Mental for the refrag. However, that's one of your C4s back off the board, and Move's going to have to move back downstairs if they want to have a C4 for plant denial that will be directly underneath them. However, it looks like Goria will be found out here, and Mood is going to peek around the corner and able to find one in the rafters window, and he just barely misses the head of Devil. Devil with the diffuser. He's got a minute left to play with here, but you have to think here, with a minute to play, they could really force them and just play some more mind games and maybe find themselves an early round. And as I speak, Goria is able to find Faded here, and we find ourselves in a 3v2 in favor of Revengers.
Yeah, it looks like we're just going to be seeing Devil push right in. He's going to try and get behind the bomb, try and get that default plant down. And it looks like the plant is going to be successful as the C4s don't come from below, but he's going to be quickly taken out. Mayo's going to be able to get rid of 2 players. It's going to be a 1v1 Zuzi versus Mayo as Mayo rotates outside. And I don't know if Zuzi knows the location. This is going to be very advantageous for Mayo.
It's going to be very advantageous in just overall it will, because Zuzi knows exactly where he is. He's going to have to run out here, and he doesn't know exactly where he is. He hops off of the rappel. With 14 seconds left, he's going to have to bait out the diffuser here, and Mayo's going to have to peek up and try and find him, and he's going to find Zuzi here to put them on match point here. Mayo going absolutely insane here, finding himself the triple towards the end there to guarantee themselves a tie if Revengers are able to pull anything back. But I don't know about you, Pond. It doesn't look like the trend is going that way.
I mean, that attacking round was very 50-50. I mean, Mayo was able to get 2 very crucial picks in the end there and was able to win. He essentially won a 1v3 situation. And with the diffuser going down, that was a very, very good play by Devil. Devil really doing it all this game, but getting that diffuser down, he was able to clutch it out in the end on that 1v1, but he really won that 1v3. The defenders did a really good job at preventing the attackers from pushing into the objective. I don't think they did as good of a job preventing that early round push and as good of a job as for stopping the attackers from getting that map control. I mean, Libman didn't have as successful as a roam as we would have liked to see when he is successful on the roam. The when he is successful on the roam, Revengers do typically do very well, but Zuzi playing almost that soft roam with the dock gave a lot of success to them early on. But in the end there, Mayo was able to completely frag it out and was able to win a 1v3 that in every aspect he should not have won. But very, very well played. That's not to say that's not to downplay it at all. In fact, I think that's really to hype it up because that's a 1v3 that goes entirely to gun skill. And you saw in the end there, he kind of jumped off the rappel. He didn't allow Zuzi to get that pick and was able to then allow to play some of those, as you said, mind games and went out that 1v1. So it's something I absolutely love to see.
I can't disagree with you there. It was an absolute pure style, or excuse me, a pure showing of gunplay and skill because he knew exactly where both the Jaeger and the Bandit were, one on red, one in cash, and all he had to do was peek around and find one, and then peek back around the other and find. And that's beautiful game sense coming in here the uh, from Mayo on the Habana. And we're going to see Tyrant already here in Garage. They know that they're playing in basement, but they want to get rid of any lurking roamers here. So they're going to try and force themselves. And Mental's actually already going down the main stairs, looks like. And this is going to be a pretty early just control of this top floor. And we're going to see the C4 rip from Zuzi. Will it catch anyone? No, it won't even do any damage to Mental. And that's one of your potential 2 or 3 C4s, excuse me, off the board.
I think that C4 actually took out their Kaid charge as well. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure that that wall is no longer electrified, and Mayo able to find Tonics off the board. Very good pick coming in there. That's going to be one of the C4s from below that you're able to deny at that point. And it looks like it did stop the electrification, but as I say that, Libman's able to get Mayo from below, and that's a good C4. That's your Habana off the board, and that is a lot of hard breach. And that's going to be your second hard breach off the board. Now they're not going to be able to open that kitchen hatch. Very, very well done by the defense there. It's going to be all on Faded Mental and Tyrant. 2 very crucial picks coming in.
It's going to be very, very crucial here as they're able to find the first pick. But Faded's going to get the refrag on to Moved, and we're down to 2 players here. And as I say that, Zuzi's going to be able to find Faded here. And Mental on very, very low HP. He's not going to be able to find the first, and that will be the end of the round here for them, as it was just a very, very good angle held here by Zuzi. I think he got a triple there as he just cheekily played that angle. And the Wichita Wolves, while they're on match point here, that didn't look like a very, very strong round there from them, wouldn't you say?
Definitely was not one of their stronger rounds, but again, that basement site is very hard to attack. They didn't I think where that whole attack had gone wrong was both of their hard breachers were taken out very early on. You didn't have Mayo on the Habana be able to open up that kitchen hatch, which made it very challenging to gain any control over Arsenal. And at that point, as long as you hold down Church and stop the push from that Moto hatch, it really is the defender's round. And they weren't able to get any early control onto blue. They weren't able to open up dirt and have any control of dirt. So at that point, there's not a whole ton that the defense really has to worry about. They really just have to prevent the push down main stairs, prevent the push down Moto, and